Hi, how you doing? Good day. Welcome to Newspaper Review on Niger Watch. It's good to have you on here. Thank you for being on here. Osabgovo, how you doing? Big shout out to you. Big shout out to Mommy Diaspora, Mommy of all mommies. It's good to have you on this broadcast with us. Thank you for being on here. How are you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to my Niger Watch family across the globe. I hope it's a good day going for you. I pray for you this day that God will perfect all that concerns you. And yeah, yeah. May God concerns all that perfect that may God perfect all that concerns you and give you good health and give you an expected end on whatever it is that your heart desires or that you are trusting God for. All right, welcome to this broadcast. Thank you for being on here. Please do well to like this broadcast as we go on. It's a beautiful day. Osage Daddy, how you doing? So, are you really a daddy, or it's just one of those names that you like and okay, Osage Daddy, how you doing? It's good to have you on the broadcast. Thank you for being on here. Thank you for being on here. Please take out time to like this broadcast as we go on. On the comment section, the link has been posted. If you would like to join me on this broadcast today, please do well to click on the link and you'll be right here with me. Thank you for joining me today. If you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please take out time and do so today. If you are yet to turn on your notification bell, please take out time and do so today. All right, we'll be moving on to the business of the day. Our first paper for today is going to be the Punch. Here we have Depot sells 220 per liter. Marketers projects 350 per liter pump price. Ipman others decry jump in landing costs. Foresee gloomy Christmas. Okay, everything is threatening our Christmas this period. Here we have 87% of Nigeria's rural roads deplorable, and that statement is by World Bank. Budget padding allegations senseless, says Finance Minister. Import duty controversy. Private jet owners sue government over 30 billion naira tax. 17 business moguls, banks, others move to stop government from grounding luxury jets. Aircraft owners sue government with foreign registered firms. Trustees insist payment illegal. NCAA customs await court papers. Abuja court plans to set hearing date for suits. NDLEA announced suspected drug baron brother flees. Here we have Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Ogun Oyo deploys drones against kidnappers. Herbalist steals money, beheads Lotto operator. Efcc uncovers oil firms $205 million unremitted funds. EFCC uncovers oil firms $205 million unremitted funds. It's like we are tired of talking about all of this, unremitted funds. It's like this money is beginning to give us headache because, now that the money has been recovered, what's next? What's next? As the same question is being asked that the recent Abacha's $20 million, what is it going to be used for? Although people are clamoring that, the money should not be released to this administration, they should just hold on to it for now. And it's amazing how this road is being constructed, that road is being constructed, but still we have a report that 87% of our rural roads are deplorable. And these are true words. These are very, very true. The roads everywhere. It's not even pertaining to one particular place. Everywhere, okay, but some places they have really good. Some places really have, like the north, they have really, really good roads. Okay, we'll have to give it to the government for that. All right, and yes, Nigerians to buy. Okay, so this one issue. So we have some are buying as much as 350 naira, and the government are still paying subsidy. I mean, right now with everything that is happening, looks like this is be a good time for them to just call off the subsidy. Because how is it that we are paying, the government are paying subsidy and we are still buying petrol for as much as 220 to 350 depending on the price is not even regulated. The price is, we don't even know who is setting the price, marketers or It's not regulated, and you just go prepared. You don't even know what, you can't even budget yourself in a time like this. You just go prepared. Now we have another story from these two powerhouse women, and the this about the budget padding. Do also remember that we are talking about 200, and I think 207 billion naira is what we are talking about. That these two women are coming out to say that it is senseless and it's a joke, and that it is, not worthy of. All right, everyone on that story, please pick up a copy of the Punch today, page 8, to get, all of that and more. And I was hoping, the reps will scrutinize the finance minister, to know how a total of 207 billion naira, was infused into people's budgets that they cannot even explain. They are all as shocked as we are. All right. Now there is another interesting story: the import duty controversy. Okay, I'll try to explain it to the best of my knowledge. But if you want more on this story, if this story concerns or affects you in any way, please do what to dig more on page 2. So, talking about private jet owners in Nigeria, uh, these people had to, license their private jets, register their private jets with international firms. Now, reason being that so that it will still have value when they want to resell. I mean, we already know that the Nigerian product or Nigerian use it's not the same value with foreign use. Right. So they do not want to register their private jet here in Nigeria, so that when they want to sell it to still have value and all of that. The problem now is they are paying tax with these foreign firms, but here in Nigeria that they are, that they are parked here in Nigeria, that they use it more often. They do not want to be paying tax. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. So this is where all the import duty controversy with the private jet owners that are suing the government over 30 billion tax, over 30 billion naira tax. Well, I think no, but this should not be. I want us to have this conversation. So please do well. Let's talk about this. Either you click on the link or you talk to me on the comment section, whichever of them. Let us engage. I mean, this will not. Yes, let us engage. That's as much as we have on the story regarding the private jet owners wanting to sue the government over 30 billion naira tax. But I mean, I'm still saying that I don't think it makes sense that you people are registering, licensing your private jets with international firms or with foreign firms. It is being used here, it is being packed here, but still you intend to not pay any kind of tax. I don't see how that is possible. I don't see how that is possible. All right, we'll move on to, yes, NDLA, now the suspected drug baron and brother, please. So story has it that this Okay, so story has it that this man, Kelechi by name, they've been searching for him. He's been wanted for many years. One time in 2013, when NDLEA tried to, based on intel and all that, they tried to strike and capture this person. It is said that he escaped, and they have like a shootout. They have like yeah, they engaged them in a battle, and one of the NDLEA officers is still in the hospital receiving treatment till now. That's from 2013, so it must have been such to the papers. It didn't make it to the news, but that happened. And a big shout out to NDLA. We would agree that they've been, doing a whole lot of capturing and seizing and nabbing a lot of suspected drug barons. So we'll give it to them. But the brother is said to have fled the scene. The number of drugs, and the brazen nature. And it just goes on to say how much of a drug cartel that has been running on at this point. What's pushing them out? What is making them to come out? What is making them to talk? How is NDLA able to nab these people? What are they doing differently from years ago? Yeah, what are they doing differently from years ago? What is causing all the oh? But it's good to know. It's good to know whatever it is that is motivating them to clean the streets and help save the youth. Kudos to them. All right. Yes, we have this story. This herbalist. On this story, it just makes you to begin to question your neighbors, everybody around you. So this happened in Ogun State. A lotto dealer operator, yeah, a lotto operator said to have accused this herbalist, who is his neighbor, his landlord's grandson, stays in the same apartment compound house with them, and accused the herbalist of stealing his money, raised alarm. Neighbors came out and all that. But funny enough, the herbalist agreed or confessed to stealing the money, and neighbors sorted, settled them and everything. Later on at night, the herbalist went on to tell people in the yard that he wants to do some form of spiritual cleansing, so they should not close their doors. They should leave their doors open. Now I'm thinking, if he said that, that means it must have been a norm, for these people to to do the whole spiritual what. If people are staying in house that they are doing spiritual cleansing, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to be laughing. Someone died here, but you people are staying in house that they are doing spiritual cleansing. Wow, wonderful. Things like this, they are supposed to be hiding. You were hired to do something like this. So I'm imagining I'm staying here and somebody is outrightly performing rituals, and then you go on ahead to tell people to leave their doors open, that you want to do spiritual. Well, they did that, and yeah, he said that gave him easy access to get into these people's apartments. He burnt the net with fire, and he was able to just unlock the door. He got in, yeah, he unlocked the door and he got in. He used the cutlass to behead the man. And when he was asked why, he said, this is somebody who feels like he has it all. This is someone who feels like he has it all. This is somebody who feels like, he has arrived, and he likes to show off, that he just wanted to teach him a lesson. The heart of man, remember what the Bible says about the heart of man: desperately wicked. Sadly, that's the story on there. It was the wife who came in on the scene and raised the alarm. That's it. One of the neighbors caught him, said he saw him coming out with his clothes from that apartment, with clothes and machetes soaked in blood. He went to burn. I think he went to burn the clothes, or he went to bury the clothes. But that also helps the police, and that's also fast track the whole story. All right, so okay, I just said wife. If you wonder where the wife was, she went for video. She said she asked the husband to follow her for the video, but he said he would rather stay with his grandmother, who was old, who is old and sick at the time. He said he would rather stay with her at home than go to church, and that happened. Sadly, that happened. Sadly, that happened. All right, to move on to another story. Let's see what the Tribune has to say to us. If you're just joining, welcome to our newspaper review on Niger Watch. Welcome. Please do want to like this broadcast. Thank you very much. On here, we have ex-Second Republic Minister Paul Honongo dies at 87. Court sentences IGP to 3 months in prison for contempt. Police not aware of court's order on reinstallment or reinstatement of dismissed officer. And yet we have federal government to spend $557 million on rural roads in Katsina, Oyo, Abia, Akwa Ibom, 15 other states. Gunmen kill Labour Party woman leader in Kaduna. Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Ogun, Oyo to deploy drones to tackle kidnappers. Ekiti Assembly crisis. I won't withdraw case against my removal. Aribisogon. Police disperse protesters demanding CGN's resignation. No manifesto, no debate. APC tells Obi. Kogi partners China on security architecture. Adeleke Osun Speaker meets. Governor dissolves all non-statutory boards. Police secure Akiru's palace. Calm is free. Okay, I'll move on from that story. Military actions alone can't end terrorism in Lake Chad, and that's by Buhari. Okay, let's see. Let's the story on here, the very viral story. The court has sentenced the IGP to 3 months in prison for contempt. So there is a case. But it's amazing how the IGP will have a case in court and the IGP does not even know that. Okay, the story has it that the IGP, now there is a case of a man that was illegally discharged from the police force, and from what the FPRO says, as of when this case even happened, that the IGP was not, he was not even in the police force at the time, because this thing happened in 1993, and the IGP, got into the force a little after that incident had happened. But the case resurfaced in 2011, and the verdict of the court was that the person should be reinstated, and he got a special package, a bonus of 20 million was awarded to the officer that was discharged illegally. But that was not upheld. The man has not been reinstated. He has not been paid. And because of that, that's why the IGP has been sentenced to 3 months in prison for contempt. But surprisingly, the office of the IGP have come out to say that the IGP did not even know of this case. Yes, you heard right. He didn't even know that this case was, wow. Okay, so now that this has happened, that this has come to the IGP's knowledge, and they'll try to retrieve that file and see what they can do about it, and advise the IGP going forward on what to do about this. But I thought, they should arrest them first, go inside the prison, and then tell us you did not know. Is that not what they say? Obey before complain. Is that not what they say? It's really amazing. What is left of a country that does not obey court order? Really, what is left of us what is left of us as a country? It's really pathetic, really. The other time it was the EFCC boss and nothing. Nnamdi Kanu is still there, nothing. Wow. All right, let's see what other story that we have on here to take now. Condolences to the Labour Party woman leader in Kaduna. The insecurity on our land. Hey, you see this unknown gunmen. You see this unknown gunmen. I'm really, really trying not to use the words that are just right here, right now. This unknown gunmen thing just. So we are saying that there is nothing we can do regarding this unknown gunmen going about killing people. Who is sponsoring these people? Nigeria is not safe. Nigeria is not safe. It's not. Nigeria is not safe. All right, but something has to be done. So how do we protect ourselves as a people? We need to begin to have these conversations. We need to. This unknown gunmen going about killing people, no probe, no nothing. People are just there daytime and they see people dressed in military uniform, shooting, killing, kidnapping. Nothing is done. Hmm. All right, let's see what other story we have here. Oh dear. Mr. Chooks, good day. Welcome to the broadcast. Mr. Chooks says Buhari have buried what is left of Nigeria. It will be very clear by next year. Mr. Michael says Nigeria is now running nomadic system of government. So what really would be their agenda? Okay, if the government are being, they are being lackadaisical, dealing with insecurity. So I have come to agree that there is a plan to reduce the number of Nigerians living in Nigeria. So what is next? Because if that is not an agenda playing out, why can't they just stop all of these insecurities? It's really scary, you know. Ah, it's really scary. It's very, very scary because I'm reporting from Nigeria. It's really scary. Nigeria is not safe. It's not. It's not. It's not. And it's scary and it's sad. And it's sad. So do we all have to leave the country? Because we have to stay safe. Make we talk now. We have to stay safe. It's not if you want to be, are you not going to be a doctor to people that are alive? Even if you are saying the professionals are running away, who's going to fight for the country? Should dead people they fight? What will be the plan of these people or not gunmen? Got access into this woman's house, shot the house, kill. What? So that time it was what? Pastor Suleiman. Then it was Ifeanyi Uba. Then the other ones, the other time was a VC of come on. Nigeria is not safe. Mr. Machiavelli, how you doing?
Good morning. I'm very great. Thank you for having me on the show. Good morning to Nigerians. Good morning to those in the comment section. Good morning to the concerned citizens around the globe. It is very sad, like when you look at our newspapers, they don't bring anything positive. It is always negative. And it's now very crystal clear to Nigerians that we don't have a government. We have people, just like Mr. Michael said on the comment section, we are running a nomadic system of government. I agree with him. Not only a nomadic system of government, a government of oligarchy, where they believe on themselves. Now, how long have we been talking about the insecurity? It's a long time now. And if you see, the Nigerians are not safe, moving around their own comfort zone. They cannot even travel. And the Christmas at the end of the year where they're supposed to meet families, they are also being kept in solitary confinement. You were talking about the private jet. I laughed. Do you know why I laughed? Because these are the people who afford the private jet. Is it a common man? No. It's not a common man. It is those who are actually the politicians, the elite, those we call now the oligarchs. They afford the private jet. And this is something that you don't pay tax on when the private jet is being packed. You are actually making sure that you're paying taxes overseas so that you can always, whenever you want to sell them, you can always, it will have a lot of, how do I say, a value on it. But this is the same Nigeria whereby the citizen, they live below $1 a day. This is the same Nigeria whereby the citizen are not guaranteed their safety. The same politicians who are busy campaigning all around Nigeria, trying to hold that office again, are the same people who does not travel by land, who are not actually really affected by the insecurity. They go with their private jet anywhere they want to go to. The other day during a campaign, do you know how many private jets that was there? A lot. But they left Nigerians swallowing in poverty. And this is the same people who are coming to tell you that they have done well. They have A1 in their report card. This is a woman that was killed by unknown gunmen. Look at the word unknown gunmen. Now, here is what it's very interesting in Nigeria. We move from Boko Haram to ISWAP. From ISWAP, we move to bandit. From bandit, we are now going to unknown gunmen. Let's check it out. Yesterday, I heard our president speaking in the ECOWAS, speaking with the ECOWAS leaders, telling them that he was going to give Nigeria a free and fair election. And I laughed. This is the same person who is bragging about democracy, whereby your wife have just sent someone, have just arrested a Nigerian that criticized her. And you, as the man in charge, you were championing democracy in the ECOWAS meeting. It's very, very, Nigerians, I don't understand where we're going to. And yet, you are also campaigning for someone who actually brought you in, who told everybody that he was the one who brought you in. He single-handedly brought you in. Is that a democracy? Nobody can talk. The opposition now, who are trying to actually champion what a true democracy is being murdered. And I can guarantee you there's no investigation being going on. Before you know it, in the next 3 days, we don't hear about it anymore. Lives are going. Like you just said, is it something like a deliberate action to reduce the population of Nigerians? Nigerians are already being reduced. How many people are really moving out of the country? Just imagine. They're already moving out. If you go to our international airport, it's filled up. Is filled up because people want to leave. Their life is not guaranteed. They don't even have food to eat. They can't even go to their farm to farm. They can't even eat. Yet the country, the presidency or the government is telling you that they have done a lot for Nigerians. Are you going to talk about the educational sector? It's F9. Power sector is F9. Infrastructure is F9. Agriculture is F9. Our natural resources is F9. So what has the Nigerians benefit other than you just killing spree? Even our soldiers, our gallant troops that are even protecting us, what are we giving to these people? No equipment. Yet we see Senate or representative, bringing budget of what trillions of naira. At the end of the day, we don't know where the trillions are going to. So where are we going to start from? Where are we going to start from? Youth that are supposed to be the leaders of tomorrow are not busy engaging themselves into Yahoo business, killing themselves for money ritual. It's not their fault, it's the situation they found themselves. Because in a country where you invest in the youth, I don't see reasons why these people will engage in such business. And another thing, the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress said he built Lagos, he built Lagos, he built Lagos, he built Lagos. But yet, the youth in Lagos, they have nothing to write home about now. So what are you telling them now? Yesterday, it's been said that he's coming to talk to the diasporans or talk to world leaders. What are you putting on the table? What are the impact that is going to change Nigeria? I don't see anything, because this is somebody who have never spoken to Nigerians. No granting interview. You don't want to attend debate because you believe you guys always maneuver your way to get in there. What are you coming to tell the diasporans now?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Machiavelli. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your submission. Thank you for being on here. Chuk says, I doubt Buhari will allow his legacy to be this bad if he's alive. See, you said this bad. Saying it's really bad, because which sector are we going to talk about? If we run a live video right now, a live broadcast, you go around, Nigerians that should be out there being productive are queuing for fuel. Adding to the stress of these people. Look Look at the homes. The people are killing themselves in their homes. A baby was crying and this man just kept hitting his child. Our men are going crazy. People are losing it. And it is even worse that we have a president that says nothing. If we know say na deaf and dumb we won't put as president, we for don't prepare ourselves. What? No care, no empathy. Wickedness is growing strongly in our hearts. We're all going to run away. Welcome to our newspaper review. We'll take our last paper for the day. If you're yet to like this broadcast, please take out time to like the broadcast. Thank you very much. This is going to be Daily Sun. Okay. Uyawu demands Southeast governors Ohaneze Pali over Enugu herdsmen attack. Okay. Rivers will soon decide presidential candidate to vote, says Wike. No amount of attacks will stop credible elections, says INEC. Commission's chairs says machinery in place to replace Burns facilities. That's nice. Governor Adeleke denies sacking workers, traditional rulers. Military sets to prosecute 886 Boko Haram fighters. 82,237 insurgents surrender in 15 months. Court sentences IGP to 3 months in prison for contempt. Russia-Ukraine war compounding terrorism in Lake Chad. That's by Buhari. President writes Senate seeks legal framework for social investment program. Police tear gas protesters demanding CGN's resignation in Abuja. Fresh trouble looms in varsities as ASU protest half salary. All right. What are we going to say concerning our education? What really are we going to say? How many things are we lending our voices to? We did now everything we did. We've given every part of us into different sectors. Is it ASU that we are still talking about? We are still talking about fuel. We are looking at unknown gunmen, and here you are saying that we've never had a declined moment that would warrant the federal government, that would warrant any kind of pardon to 82,237 Boko Haram fighters in 15 months. The country has not been that safe. The military, Buhari, APC, all of them, they are whining us. All of them. 82,000. Do you know what that is? Do well to remember that some of these girls that were kidnapped by Boko Haram, these Chibok girls, they are yet, not all of them has been found. Some came out with 4 children, 2 children. Some have been so damaged mentally that they say they miss their husbands and they want to go back. Do you understand the kind of damage? Some are saying they hate the men, but they love their children because they are looking at, those that cannot stand the children, getting their children from them and all that. The country, did they even give them some kind of, talk, counseling before releasing them into the society? Answering questions upon questions. Dear. All right. Okay, that's we know the herdsmen attack in Enugu lately has been very, very disturbing and alarming. Southeast governors Ohaneze governors are coming together, and let's see if the state police, if they will, if they can form a vulture for state policing to state, not even just to take place, because it is happening in places like Katsina and Kaduna. The only difference is these people have arms. These other ones are still waiting for the president to license arms. I don't understand. So which president who licensed their own arms that is not licensing these other ones? Come on now. What are we doing? Mr. Vine, how you doing? It's good to have you on the broadcast.
Good morning, Sistema. Good morning to my co-panelists. Good morning to you all that are listening to us and those in the comment section. You see, Sistema, I will tell you now that what is happening to Nigerians and Nigeria itself is as a result of the Nigerians themselves. It is happening again. I will not, this time around, I'm not going to blame the people, because it is from the society that these leaders are being chosen. Whether they were chosen or whether they selected themselves, so I don't want to know. They have gotten, they impose themselves there. They refuse to do what the law, constitution allows them to do, and you cannot do anything. When you protest, they tell you, they level their barrels on you. So what are you going to do? The system has been corrupted. There is nothing, there is nothing in Nigeria that is working. Families are collapsing. Because of these bad policies the government is churning out to the people, families are collapsing. The moral values are gone in Nigeria. Love has grown cold. Love has gone cold in Nigeria, just like the Bible said. Men are lovers of money than lovers of, their fellow human beings. Love has grown cold in that country, starting from the top to bottom. Is it now that Buhari suddenly realized the Boko Haram issue? Was he not speaking in favor of Boko Haram before? This is where I blame Nigeria. Someone that told his predecessor that any attack, good Lord Jonathan, let me put it, good Lord Jonathan, that any attack against Boko Haram is attack against the North. And you people gathered after making all these grievous, statements. You allow him to be there. What do you expect? He should come and go and kill them. Since the time he came there, what happened? There were multiplicity of terrorists in that country, including his own kinsmen. His own kinsmen has taken over Lokoja Kogi State. They've taken over all the bushes of that place. That is why you see, and that Lokoja Kogi State is a key state that borders Enugu and Ebonyi State. I think some part of Lokoja, Cross River, Lokoja or Ogoja area. They are coming in through that place. That is why you see their sleeper cells are all over Kogi. This is why I continue to tell you people that if you do not wake up right now, what you don't expect will hit you in that country. P2B cannot save anybody in that place. I will continue to say this, because if you listen to Olisa Abakoba yesterday, was it yesterday when he was addressing the press? Go and listen to that man, and you will now realize that what I have been telling you, all the things I've been telling you are true. The foundation of that country was not made by Nigerians. That is why you see the likes of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu coming out. That is why you see Igboho coming out. That is why you see agitation. That is why you see misrule all over Nigeria. And you cannot talk. Since they have the power, come out and they will level their barrels on you. What are you going to do? I have never seen a country where people will come out to show civil disobedience in the form of peaceful protest, carry flag, a sensible professional soldier level their barrels on them and got them slaughtered. And up to today, it has been trivialized. Nobody is speaking about it. The perpetrators, men in khaki, has not been arrested. None of them is gone. Is gone. And you call that a nation? You call that call that a country? Rule of law, zero. Anything that can make the people or improve the life of Nigerians, zero. And you call that a country? That country don't even supposed to exist. A country that cannot even provide the basic. Look at what
Prime
you just
Minister Vi Maxwell, thank you very much for your submission. Thank you very much. We have to move on. If you're just joining us, please do also like this broadcast, share, invite someone onto the broadcast. Thank you. All right. Do also like this broadcast, share, invite someone onto the broadcast. Do also support by clicking on the $ to the right on the comment section. Udoka Joy, welcome to the broadcast. Good to have you on here. Thank you very much. A big thank you to Chooks. Chooks, also thank you for being on here. Each and every one of you, thank you. We'll move on quickly to okay, Mr. Collins will be back in a minute. Do also remember we have the chat coming up at 1 p.m. today. I invite each and every one of you. Please join me on the chat today. Thank you very much. Mr. Chooks, how are you doing? Welcome to the broadcast.
Yeah, good morning, Miss Emma. Good morning, Mr. Vi Maxwell. Good morning, Collins, and everybody watching us. Yeah, I don't know where to start because there's so much, sad news in Nigeria. First of all, I want to start by, sending my condolence to the family of the Labour, I think one of the Labour spokesperson in Kaduna, for the terrible assassination that happened. Yeah, this is the this is the issue we are facing. We keep saying this all the time here that these people cannot sit and allow people to take over the power. They must have to fight back. It's unfortunate that life is lost. I just pray that those that are with gunshot injuries, they come out of it. It's a very terrible. Nigeria is in a very terrible condition right now, and I hope that that give people the reason to make the right decision, to come out of this situation. It's a very tough situation, and nobody wishes to be in. I'm gonna speak on the IG and the 3 months. Yesterday I had when Tuna just said ASU should take the federal government to court. I've already said this to him. He should keep in touch with this. Even I want him to call on the authorities to make sure that they obey the law, the rule of law, because it was like people wrote a statement yesterday telling him that he never oppressed like that in Nigeria. So this is a very good opportunity. Like people know, or he knows that he's gonna come out that yesterday. So if this one works, why not? ASU should take them to court. So, but I'm not seeing the IGP going to any prison. Even common Bauer didn't go to prison. How much more the man who heads him? So I'm not seeing that happening, and that is unfortunate problem we have in Nigeria, and that is why I want Niger to monitor this, because if we are telling him about the root of the problem, he seems not to understand it. The root of the problem is, rule of law. Nobody obeys the rule of law, and that is the issue. It doesn't matter how what program you bring, how good it is, it's gonna fail. Sometimes people said, "Oh, Obi didn't invest that money." Those ones he invested, after 1 year he left office, everything is gone down. Go to my community today. the community medical center that is there. Nothing. Nobody's looking after it. So when we talk about all these things, you know, it's like we don't know how it works in Nigeria. The government is a bus stop. Once it reaches it's not even a bus stop, it's a bus station. Once it reaches the end of your distance, you end the bus there off it and take the key. That is what is happening, you know. And this is why an incumbent governor like Oyetola, or what they call him, the Osun State, did by employing and you know, bringing making sure that he damages the district, because government in Nigeria is not a continuous thing. It's a bus station. Once it gets there, you know, you off it and take the key away. The next driver will have to come with their own keys. That's exactly what it is. So it's so pathetic that, you know, we are discussing the IGP, not hearing that he's already been in prison. Because if it is in the UK here, he would have been in prison. He wouldn't even want them to come and arrest him. He will, you know, get his load, get ready. People do it here. They write you a letter asking you to go to prison, and you just pick your things you need that is allowed in prison, and you go there, you check yourself in. That's it. End of story. But we all know in Nigeria it's not going to happen. It's really not going to happen. And that is where, you know, people like us are banging that except we take this thing by force, these people are not ready to relinquish that power. It is impossible. So let us do the right thing. INEC have said that we've burned down everything, you know, 50% of it. I don't know how you've never given people the PVC they did in January, and you are promising us that it can only take you 2 weeks to replace whatever that is burnt and things like that. If you guys know how it works, you guys can lecture us, because I don't understand. If I have done my PVC since January and I'm not able to get it, and all of a sudden there's a fire, and they say my PVC is involved in it, and they are promising me to get it in 2 weeks. I don't see how it works out or how it's coming. Yeah, I want to quickly speak on no. How did Festus Keyamo said that no CV, no CV, no debate? Because if you're asking a man to say what he did in Anambra and this and that, that is a CV, or maybe he didn't know what is called, you know. No CV, no debate. Well, we are not begging him to come on debate. You know, it's painful that Obi never releases his mandate, and I'm not gonna stand here and you know, stand that. He should do that. He should do that. We should be able to have enough time to analyze that. And because it's my principle doesn't mean I can say it as it is. No, he needs to come up now and give us his manifesto. That is how to do this. That's why enough time is given to them this time, so that Nigerians will have time to study this and know what you're able to do and ask you questions in case if you come to talk to them. That's what it is for. We remember when Buhari, when they start counting for Buhari, what he said on campaign trail, and he said, "Did I say that?" I can remember it. I remember it like this, like he's just saying it now. He said, "Did I really say that?" And when the answer is yes, he was dumbfounded. So let him release his manifesto. You know, we're not begging Tinubu and the Keyamo to come to the distance. Unfortunately, Nigerians are still not getting it, because if you are getting it, if anybody doesn't come to debate, something like debate, it is a no, because how do we gauge them? That's why we call the results saying this person did well, this person did better. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Chooks. Thank you for being on here. I appreciate your time with us. And also to Lady Jessica Alameze, thank you for your kind words. Thank you to each and every one of you on this broadcast. I hope you've taken our time to like this broadcast. If you haven't, please take our time to like the broadcast, share quickly, invite someone. Let us all reason together. let's dissect the papers. And also, please join me by 1 p.m. Nigerian time on the chat. It is, I think it's about 96 days. It's less than 100 days for sure until the elections. Oh dear, are we ready? Join me on the chat today. I will also be bringing out, INEC has released, a step-by-step guide on how the transmission will go, the whole process. That will be brought on here. Mr. Chuk said he wanted to know something about that, so that will be brought on here. And what are we looking out for? What are the lapses that we have right now in the country? What is that new Nigeria that you would love to come into play? You just never know who is listening. Join me on the chat today. Nigeria is our home. Come, let's talk about a preparation to next election. All right, thank you to each and every one of you on this broadcast with me. Thank you very much, Mr. Collins. I hope you're available now.
Catch system. I'm available. Good morning.
All right,
Good
good morning
morning.
to you,
Yeah,
sir. Welcome to the broadcast.
you're welcome. I don't have much to say. I think Mr. Chus have said a lot of things that I'm supposed to say. And the caller before Mr. Chus. One thing about all these things, Mr. All these things we are talking about, I think P2B is giving room some things that we don't want. You understand? Because like Mr. Chuks said here, I don't know what is delaying Labour Party to release their manifesto. You're supposed to be ready, because you know that APC and PDP are trying to use all those things as an excuse. You don't need to give them room. You don't need to give them the opportunity to breathe. In all those things, you don't need to give them that kind of space for them to start using all those excuses. You have to be ready. So whatever they bring out, you debunk it. Whatever they bring out, you prove so many things. And I think Labour have delayed this kind of manifesto, giving people some thinking and giving people right to begin to say what they are not supposed to say. They've been giving excuse about releasing manifesto. They keep postponing it week. I don't know what is holding the manifesto. That manifesto should be out by now. They promised last week. That manifesto should be out last week. Now they are talking about this week. They should just do anything to release the manifesto. There is nothing there to hide. You have already, Nigerians already buying the idea of what you are saying. Manifesto is just to fulfill all promises, to fulfill all righteousness. So you just have to bring out that manifesto. There is nothing again anybody's going to copy, because I believe every other party have released all their manifesto. So they are not going to change anything or maybe try to copy what you already said, because they already released their manifesto. So he should release that manifesto. So, and about what is happening in Nigeria is not a new thing. The way Nigeria, like Mr. Chuksi said here about the constitution, the laws, the laws is in Nigeria. It's just that nobody is there to implement it. The laws are there in Nigeria. It's just that we haven't have a leader that is ready to implement laws. When I mean implement laws, that every angle of the law will start working in Nigeria. But because of when the foundation is not working, every other place will not work. So because we get it wrong when it comes to our foundation, so it affects every branches when it comes to Nigeria. So until we get the right person to fix that foundation, nothing is going to work in Nigeria. Imagine if there are so many things. Look at that AFSU, look at the this is the Nigeria government disobeying their own law. That's Nigerian government. You have to live by example. So imagine when Nigeria's government are disobeying their own law. So how do you expect the citizen to obey the law? So how do you expect the citizen? Because their own government disobey the law. So once the government disobey the law, every other individual is entitled also to disobey the law. But if the leader set the example, trust me, every other person will queue. But because we don't have a leader who is ready to implement the law, when you call the justice, our justice will take place. You call our court will take place. But in terms of everything in Nigeria, they keep appointing people who are not even qualified to be in that position. So that is where we find ourselves in this level. So until we get the right person, we are not going anywhere. And also, I want to use this media to send my condolence to the Labour Party woman leader that was killed in Kano. So I'll send my condolence to her family. You understand? So I pray that God will console them. So all those things are not supposed to be happening this time of election. People killing, assassinating people. So I just pray that they will find out the people who partake in that and brought them to justice. But it's gonna be difficult because we find ourselves in Nigeria, a place that things nobody cares. So I don't want to say too much because I think the two people have said a lot I want to say. Thank you too.
All right, Mr. Collins, thank you very much for your submission and for your time on here with us. Thank you. Much appreciated. Mr. Goodman, you are in the studio today. Please take it away.
Thank you, Emma. Good morning. And good morning, my fellow panelists. Emma, you know my stance. You see, the problem is, I think we from the southern part of Nigeria, we cause our problem ourselves. When these northern people were restructuring this country, we all kept quiet, as if probably we are hypnotized or something. You see, after the Civil War, one of the agreement there then was, before any fundamental change would take place in that country, everybody, every region has to come together and agree. But when these people, this military, Hausa military men were making these changes, nobody raised eyebrow. They came, they started creating states, just to restructure the country to favor them. Nobody said anything. When Babangida came, Babangida now registered Nigeria as a member of IOC, Islamic Organization Corporation. Nobody said anything. We kept quiet. This thing has been planned. This is a planned thing, right? We keep saying we'll get a good leader. Which good leader? They've already structured Nigeria. No matter leader. You're having a good leader, but your good leader, he cannot get a VP from the West. Don Yokupe was there. He couldn't make him his VP. He need to go to the North. Because they've structured, you don't know the agreement before they gave him their son. You don't know the agreement they are reached with them. This is a structured Nigeria. Sorry, I missed my thought of when sorry. Okay, when Abuja, when the Abuja Declaration, 1989 Abuja Declaration, when Nigeria was part of it, the South never said anything. What Abuja 1989 Abuja Declaration, what it means is that all the countries that are involved in that mean that every position in those countries that are participating in that Abuja Declaration must be held by a Muslim, which have succeeded in doing that. Every strategic position is now headed by a Muslim. We kept quiet. Now they created a constitution for us again, the same Fulani people. We kept quiet. So we kept quiet all this while. Now we think all of a sudden, after these years, they've planned all these things for years, and we now think we can just come and get a leader that will come and change all these things. Our leader that we're talking about has come and change all these things. He went there and be scouting for VP. He cannot scout for VP in the South or in the West. He was scouting for VP in the North, and they gave him the son. You think they just give him the son without a condition? They must give him a condition. They restructure Nigeria, and it's too late. Unfortunately, if we say we want to take our country back, there will be bloodshed, because these people are monsters. They cannot just give you power in that, just give you that power like that, where they've planned for years. Now they've succeeded. Buhari was giving everybody, he put his kinsmen every strategic position. We all kept quiet, as if we are hypnotized in Nigeria. They will be doing this thing before our nose, under our eyes. We will not say anything. All of a sudden down, we think on a Saturday morning, we just go and queue in the line and carry our thumb and put in ink and stamp and remove them from there. Is that what we think? Please, let's start thinking deep. On a Saturday morning, we just go and queue and put where the INEC person is a Fulani man. This is a plan thing for so many years, and we kept quiet. Right from the military time, they restructure Nigeria, giving us states, creating states, without carrying us along. We accept the states. They register us in Islamic IOC. We agree. We gave them Sharia. Everything. Now we want to say we want to take back our country. We've already given them the country. Unfortunately, if we want to take back this country, I know we will say God forbid, but there will be bloodshed, because these people, these Fulani people, they are known for war. What they do, they instill fear in you. This is what terrorists do. They come, take few people and terrorize them, just to make the other people that is looking to know that if you try this is something that will happen to you. People are running away from Nigeria because of fear, not because of anything. So they instilled fear in us. So this is the thing where we let's just prepare our mind. I want everybody now to prepare their mind.
Right.
Let's expect the worst. Let's expect the worst. We think that once start today morning, we go and ballot paper and take this off this power. We should start thinking again. Thank you, Emma.
All right, Mr. Goodman, thank you for your submission. Thank you for your submission. That's not to deter anybody from exercising their right come the election day. We are going to stay hopeful. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. We are going to stay hopeful. Yes, I'm also going to stay very hopeful. I don't even have a choice than to stay hopeful. Yes, and so as many out there who is living in fear, let our card be our strength, and our decision also be our strength. And the zeal to fight for a good country, the zeal to correct every wrong, to say something when you see something. That way, God helping us, we will all overcome all of this. Thank you to each and every one of you. It's been quite the newspaper review section today. But do want to join me by 1 p.m. today, please, on the chat. Yes, we are counting down. It's 96 days to the elections. What are your expectations? We have that and much more to talk about on the chat today. Do want to join me by 1 p.m. to my outstanding panelists. Thank you for always. Thank you very much. Mr. Vi Maxwell, I come to you to give your final submission on the broadcast.
Thank you, Sister Emma. The reason I always use my own country, Ghana, as an example. You see, when J.J. Rawlings was a military officer, when he changed himself and became a civilian head of state, the consensus of the people were sought, and the people came. They came. That time we were only 10 regions. They came and wrote their constitution themselves. They decided on how they are going to live. That was the foundation. And that was where the democracy from him started after the series of coups that went past. Today, we build on it and we are improving on it. Although we have problems, same bad leadership, but the structures are taking them out. I am telling you today, if you come to Ghana and see what the Ghanaian people are, even those that voted this present government in power, are saying, hey, you will be marveled. On that day, I will guarantee you that these people will not win the next election. That is who we are. And that is how we speak. And when we go to the polls to decide, we decide and decide decisively. That is how we do it. But in Nigeria, can you obtain it? The foundation was given by us. That time I was in active service, my people, but I had no power to change anything. I don't have more time. I could have, throw more light in this. We had no power. The southern military officers, the staff officers, and the generals that were there had nothing. Alexander Bomodia, who was the oldest and the brightest military officer that rose from the rank of a second lieutenant to 4-star general during Obasanjo's time, was thrown in school. He was in the classroom, breaking chalks and so on and so forth. Those that were calling the shots were up there. They systematically put them aside and mount their people because they control everything in that military hierarchy, and presented a document that I call a military decree. That was what was given to Nigerians, and that is what you are working. Today, there is amendment upon amendment. Has it getting it? That is the reason why Kano State has 44 local governments with just less than 11 or 10 million people. If that population, if that number is even something to go by. Lagos State, which is about 21 to 22 million people, has only 22 or 24 local governments. And this is how they share the revenue. That was the evil that was done. So my brother Collins, yes, the South couldn't say anything because that time you come out, they will kill you. Because it was the soldiers and the people that were controlling it were the same northerners and the same people that were on top of everything. So that is the problem. That is the fall of the beginning of the fall of Nigeria.
Right, Mr. Van Maxwell.
Can you, okay. All right, thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much for that, Mr. Van Maxwell. I'll move on to Mr. Collins. Please, you have a minute.
Emma, I think we have said it all here. The thing is, like I said before, anybody that said that P2B don't have to change it, P2B have a lot of work to do. If P2B happen to be a president of Nigeria, he have a lot to do. Even all this constitution, he just to give people, tell people what they want. Trust me, Nigerians will vote for it. If you want Nigeria, this is how we want Nigeria to move forward. I think he stand a very better chance to do that. That is why people are banking on P2B, because there are so many restructure to do in Nigeria. So restructure Nigeria have to start from him. He have to be the one to present his agenda, present his mission. So and once he present a good mission, Nigerians will buy on your idea. That is what we're asking for. So I'm sure that this election, if P2B happen to be the president of Nigeria, he's going to restructure Nigeria in a way moving forward that will help Nigerians. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your submission, Mr. Collins. Mr. Chooks, please, let's have your final submission.
Yeah, thank you once again. Like we said earlier, Nigeria has been, I would like to know how, seriously, how this IGP. I'm very, very interested in that case. I would want to know, because that is, if that's happen, it will give a lot of hopes to Nigerians, because every sensible Nigerian knows that there's nothing wrong with Nigeria but impunity and the lack of rule of law. Nigeria is a very wonderful place, but as long as that rule of law is not applied in every way, I keep crying about a rule of law. You cannot. When I was, small, let me use that word, small. I used to remember, sometimes the police come to the barracks and submit them. They want to take this person, and they do. It's not happening anymore. That is why you can go on the street, you wear camouflage. The military are harassing you, and I don't blame, that now, because the military has polluted the street, that individuals can go and put on a camouflage and come up and harass you. So this is why I wanted to know the exact outcome of this, because so many things happening in Nigeria. If this kind of result keep going there, the court has done it twice within 6 weeks. Committing EFCC chairman Bauer to that, even though he never materialized, and doing this again, which means if you have a president who is serious on rule of law, he will order that he be taken out straight away. If he doesn't, he's on appointment. He will take off his duty, and the police will do the rest. So that is exactly what we need. And let's hope that INEC will finally. And I don't know even why all these INEC offices are not there's no CCTV on that. We just lying to these people, just lying to us. What would it take them to, the amount of money they use in replacing and fixing all these things? Won't that be enough to put CCTVs in all INEC offices? But because they know if they do that, they will have little chance to manipulate and carry out their evil plans. Let us hold these people to account. We have kept quiet for so long, like one of the speakers said. All these things happening, imagine Nigeria. Even this is a new, a reminder, because whoever that becomes the president of Nigeria, we will demand that it takes Nigeria out of IOC. For what? We're a secular state, for Christ's sake. And you are registering us as an IOC. You see the reason why they are interested in who is there. These are some of the reasons why we know why people are fighting for just to be there. So please let us, do our best and make sure we return Nigeria. But if they say no, let us have an alternative, the way we want to return Nigeria to how it's with our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chooks. Thank you for your submission. Mr. Goodman, let's have your final submission. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Emma. One thing I want us to realize is, in as much as let's not forget that in as much as we say Jonathan's administration is corrupt, but Jonathan is one person that never interfered in the rule of law, anything. But as of that time, you see, even still, the system wasn't working because these people, they frustrated his government. You see, this they have their people in everywhere, in every section in Nigeria, that even if they can't do anything inside the government, they will do it outside the government. What happened in Jonathan time? That's when the terrorism come. We started seeing suicide bombing. You understand? Because that's the only way. If that's the only way military cannot get them, they start using suicide bombing to disrupt Jonathan's government. This is what they do. But now, because they are in power, they cannot use suicide bombing anymore. They can use their military to commit havoc and do all these things. So we should realize what I'm saying is fine. We wish will be to come in, but please, I want everybody to have plan B in their mind, because Nigeria is a place anything can happen. What if Obi? No, what if the rig Obi? What are we going to? Are we going to come out on social media and start lamenting again? Because they can do okay. They already started doing the rigging already. They start burning places. They are. See what I'm saying? We are just shouting now, but they are doing. That's what I'm saying. All these things they've done over the years. We always shout, we keep quiet, and they carry it through. Now they are burning INEC offices. Now they are shouting. This is the sign that they are going to rig the election. And that day, on that day, they just announced Tinubu or Atiku. That is it. When you shout, they will tell you go to the court and challenge it. This is what they will do. So I'm just saying we should have another. What if they rig? What is our next plan? That is my take. Emma, thank you.
All right, Mr. Goodman, thank you very much. Thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A big thank you to my panelists. Please take our time to like this broadcast just before you exit. Please, thank you very much. And if you are yet to like this broadcast, please take our time to like the broadcast. Thank you very much. I'm inviting you to join me again by 1 p.m. Nigerian time for the chat. We're having the chat today. I'll be bringing you pictures, and I mean, it's 96 days to the election. We are going to be picking few reactions. We are going to be picking few reactions out there, and I want to also hear from you. If you think Nigerians are ready, if it's going to be money, if money, it's going to be a case of money this time around, or it's going to be a case of the people are going to win. If you think the people truly stand a chance, looking at the loopholes with INEC. I mean, just yesterday they said the burning the offices being burnt, was a threat to poll, and today they are showing us that it is not a threat to poll. Then tomorrow they are distorted. They are not even certain. If we put all of this, you think the people would win this? Notwithstanding, just come, let's have this conversation. And of course, trust your motherland. We've got all the stories online, on ground also to bring to each and every one of you. So please do well to join me by 1 p.m. Thank you very much. A big shout out to Mommy Diaspora. Thank you for today. Thank you so very much. Thank you also to Innocent. Innocent, it's been a long time. How have you been? Good to have you on here. Udoka Joy, thank you. Jokes, thank you very much for being here. Kingsley, how you doing? I think you came in late today, Kingsley, but thank you for being on here. Jessica, thank you for being on here. Thank you for your submission. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Mataya. Thank you, Justin Emmanuel. Welcome back, Justin Emmanuel. Welcome back. All right, thank you to each and every one of you. Right, Maxwell Smart. Thank you. Big thank you, Osagwefo. Thank you. I'll see you by 1 p.m. I hope to see each and every one of you by 1 p.m. Do well to join me. Yes, do well to join me. Okay, so yesterday we took the news that Tinubu was planned to travel to visiting meeting with diasporans to discuss on his election and all of that. And some of you or all of you are like, he shouldn't go. We don't want to see him. Who is he going to talk to? Is he done talking to the Nigerians at home and all of that? Well, surprisingly, no, not surprisingly, later on yesterday, a picture went viral of him. Okay, now that's the surprising, oh no, that's the shocking part of him and Joe Biden sitting together, having a meeting in what looks like the White House, the Oval Office. And why, we're still trying to like, okay, so is it cleared of the drug deal and all of that? Another story comes up that it was Photoshop. So Tinubu did not. Okay, so it looks like if you see at it again, just join me by 1 p.m. I'll be bringing the full story and everything to you. Thank you very much. I'll see you by 1 p.m. All right. Okay, to those on the comment section, I'm not sure we are saying anything. Oh, Adetunde, hi, good morning and goodbye. Mark Irabo, how you doing? Good morning to you. All right, just coming in. Goodbye. I'll see you by 1 p.m. Please join me by 1 p.m. Nigerian time. Until then, stay well. Take care of you. Bye for now.